And welcome to the garden once again, United Kingdom Talk. My name's Chris Reardon, coming to you from my lovely garden once again today. It's all in bloom, the sun's out, well, there's a little bit of noise behind me today, which I think you might notice. I don't know what they're doing, some sort of work. You know, them. Do you ever wonder who they are? Yes, exactly. They are doing a little bit of work today in the sort of public pathway over there. I think they were laying a new piece of, what's that black? You know, the black stuff, tarmac. They're doing something like that. They're always doing something, aren't they? Don't you think? Now, I'm going to put my sunglasses on because I'm looking exceptionally cool today in my sunglasses. Good news, a little bit of weight loss. Yes, boys and girls, a little bit of weight loss. You may have seen last week's show with James Dean when we were the same weight, which was 13 stone 3.2, I think, if I'm right. Well, I just weighed myself before I came on today to have a chat to you, and we are now I am now 13 stone 0.2. So we're getting very close to that 13 stone mark. I'm hoping within the next couple of shows to go below 13 stone. My target weight for the moment is about 12 stone 6. That's where I'd like... Oh, they are noisy, aren't they? I hope that's not going to put you off listening to the show today, is it? Just close your eyes, perhaps. If you're not watching the show, close your eyes and imagine perhaps that, you know, I'm standing in front of 10 fit lads digging holes in the ground, putting new tarmac down. Yes, I thought that. You thought you'd like that, wouldn't you? Eh? There's an email address to the show. It's chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Now, people who are watching the show on Current TV, YouTube, Blip, or any of the other Daily Motion, or any of the other servers that are kind enough to play out the show, will have noticed over the last couple of shows the screen size has been changing and various different sorts of quality and what have you. I have been experimenting with the camera settings and the software settings, and everything has to work together, you see. And it's quite difficult. If you don't know what you're doing, as is in my case, it's difficult to get the settings right. But I think I've got my fingers crossed, and I think I've just about got it right now. Now, if you were watching the show and you saw the tarot card special, that was the last show, of course, you may have noticed a slight degradation in the picture quality. Now, the reason for that was it was a very long show. Usually the show is, as you know, just under an hour long. That show, on the video side of things, only on the video side of things, was actually an hour and a half long because we had the extra bit at the end. Now, I had to reduce the quality of that because it wouldn't fit on my upload limits with YouTube. So we actually recorded it in flash mode, for those of you that know what that means, which means it was slightly less quality, but I hope it was acceptable. If you've got any comments, if actually it's acceptable to do all the shows in the quality of the last one, which will be the one dated the 2nd of June. Okay? If you thought that was acceptable, I'd appreciate a quick email in to say, yeah, that was fine, it didn't look any different, and in future I'll record all the shows in that mode, because the file size is actually a lot less. It's about a third less than what it usually is, and that would save me time on uploading the show to the server. So I'd appreciate an email in if you watched the show, and if you didn't watch the show and you do want that extra... The sun's gone in now, so I'll take my sunglasses off. So if you didn't watch the show and you're listening on the radio and you're thinking, oh, there was an extra half hour, well, yes, there was, then you can watch that by going to unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. All right, once again, unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, and then look for the show dated Tuesday the 2nd of June. That's the show you want. Tuesday the 2nd of June, and you do get an extra half an hour on that particular show. We couldn't do it on the radio because there's a 57-minute time limit on there, all right? So you might want to have a look at that. Also, tell me, was the quality all right? Was it acceptable? If you thought it was, because as far as I was concerned, it was slightly less, as I say, slightly less than normal. Not too much, just a bit. If you didn't notice anything at all, and you think that that's acceptable, then I would appreciate an email in, and then in future I'll start doing them like that. Okay, it's Chris at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, my email address. I think I'm just about right with the settings now, so hopefully, let me just get myself a bit more comfortable. Hopefully, in future, the shows will be as they look today, unless I kind of reduce the quality a bit, but they should still look as they are now, right, in widescreen and all that. So we've sorted that. It's all very technical. All very technical, isn't it? And very exciting as well, if you don't mind me saying so. Bit of an expensive couple of days, I have to say. I've had to buy my car insurance for the year. Fortunately, I have a small car, and also fortunately, one of the very few times where it's actually good to be a bit older, because I'm over 40. My car tax. Are you ready for this? We've got any youngsters listening that you're going to hate me. You will hate me when I tell you this. My car tax, fully comp, for the year is £251. If we've got anyone sort of under the age of 30, they are crucifying me now, aren't you? £251 for the entire year. So I bought my car service as well, so that was the car insurance. I had my car service and MOT'd, that was yesterday. And that cost me, all in all, £178, which was a bit dearer than I thought. But unfortunately, the first time round on the MOT, it failed due to a slightly worn tyre. Apparently, one of the back tyres, the tread, was a bit worn on one side, so it failed on that tyre. So I had to get a new tyre for that, which they did at the garage. The tyre alone cost £51, which is a little bit dearer than what I paid last time. But, you know, for the sake that it was already there in the garage, they were happy to do it, and as soon as they'd done it, you get your MOT, so yeah, get on with it. So that was £178. I've also had to pay my car tax. I bought my car tax today, which is, I wish I'd brought it in to show you, actually. If you're outside of the UK, you wouldn't know what this looks like. But it's a car tax. It's a little disc, circular disc, that you put on the side of your car to tell you that you've paid the car tax for the year. Now, here in the UK, the rules were recently changed for this in the last couple of years. So depending on how much CO2, I think it is, that your car pumps out, is sort of married up to how much you pay in car tax. Now, it starts at nothing. All right? Electric cars have a car tax of nothing. They don't have to pay anything, which is brilliant. The next level up is £35, and the good news is, and again, if you've got a big car, you'll hate me for this, I have a small car, and my car tax annually is £35. So again, you know, very, very pleased with that. The only thing is, it does annoy me, these car taxes, they come on like a square piece of paper. And you've got the circular thing there, and you're supposed to carefully tear it or cut it. Ever so hard to do it without tearing the blooming thing. It really is. Why do they make that so hard? It's so stupid. Why can't we just have a square one? Why does it have to be... If it was square, it would be easier to cut round, or you could tear it off. But it's circular, and you carefully tear... And this blooming thing usually tears in the corner or something like that. So, quite an expensive couple of days, really. Also, unfortunately, today... When I used the term unfortunately today, while I was getting my car tax done at the post office, quite nearby is one of my favourite shops in the entire world, Sports Direct. That is a cheap as chips sports shop. Now, when I say cheap as chips, it is, and I've mentioned it a few times over the last couple of years, you have to be selective in what you're buying. If you want the bang, up-to-date, latest... Adidas pair of trainers, you will pay for it. But they also have in there stuff that has just kind of gone out of fashion. Maybe it's gone out a couple of months ago, or maybe a year ago, or whatever. And that's the section money-saving Chris, thrifty old Chris Reardon always goes to. Absolutely. And I have here my Sports Direct bag. And my new items here. Now, I want to see if you can guess how much this lot cost me. All right? Shall I tell you on this show, or shall I wait for... No, I'll tell you. See if you can guess how much I've spent. Right, we've got one pair of grey Umbro shorts, 70% off. I'm hiding the price. 70% off those, right? One pair of great, very nice grey Umbro shorts. I'm always very careful to get a lining in the shorts because the ones that don't have lining, if you're out and you get sticky, your legs start chafing and sticking, and it's awful, isn't it? You know what I mean? So always get a lining in there. I've got one pair of Umbro black shorts. Okay, lovely. I have, and this was my favourite item I've bought today, a very nice new hooded top, zip-up hooded top, with lots of, like, patterns on it. And a hood, right? Really good patterns. The patterns are like, you remember the very first series of Batman, when they had, like, things that used to come out and it said "pow," "wow," "thump," and all that? Well, that's like the design on that, and it's quite multicoloured. It's a grey background with red, yellow, green and blue, like, logos all over it. So I've got that, right? How many items is that? That's 3 items. I have... Oh, hang on, I've got to cover the price. I have a very nice Umbro muscle-type vest because, you know, to show off my biceps and my pecs and all that business, right? So that's like 4 items, right? I've got another Umbro vest that was grey. This one is dark navy blue at a very, very good price, that. Very, very good price. These are all on the south section. And finally, I had a rather nice Lonsdale sleeveless t-shirt. All in large. Do you know, actually, while I was buying these things, I kind of thought to myself, well, I am still losing the weight at the moment. It may be that in a few weeks' time that all these items are too big for me. But who's complaining at that? Not me. I'm not complaining. Not really. Maybe a bit. Hang on a minute. Can I just check something? Oh, thank God for that. I thought I thought for one moment I wasn't recording on the microphone, but we are. So there we are. All those items. I'm going to put these back in... Oh, do I want to put these back in the bag? No, I don't, because they'll all crease up then, won't they? Let me just arrange these carefully on my garden wooden table. All those items. How much do you think that lot was? Okay? Any idea? Oh, do you have to make so much noise? How much? Go on. Any idea? You ain't got no idea at all, have you? £36. Ding! Bargain! £36 for all those items. Now that is what I call value for money. I've told you before about I've got friends that will think... one of my managers, Robbie, he runs Belushi's in Hammersmith, where I am on Monday nights doing the karaoke and Saturday nights doing some DJing, right? He spends money on clothes. He had a T-shirt on the other day. Now, what was... It was... Oh, the logo was... It's like a little world, like a little picture of Saturn. Not Yves Saint Laurent. I think it's Versace. Is it Versace? Could be Versace or one of them posh T-shirt type things. And this T-shirt, I mean, it was all right. It looked all right to me. How much do you think that T-shirt cost him? £160. £160 for one T-shirt. I thought it was a bit mad when someone told me the other week they spent £90 on a shirt, but a T-shirt, £160 on one T-shirt he bought, and I bought all these for £36. Ah, yeah, you come shopping with me. That's it. Come on. If you want to go shopping with me, I'll take you to places where you will not empty your wallet. Perhaps I could become one of those personal shoppers to poor people. Or people like me who don't like to spend their money. What do you reckon, eh? Can you do better than that? How many items again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items for £36. Can you do better than that? And now don't write in and say to me, yeah, I've got 6 pairs of socks for £6. No. You've got to have reasonably the same amount of things that I've got here. Can you do better than that? Let me know on the email. My email address is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. sportsdirect.com. We love it. I should be on a blooming commission with this lot. The amount of times I mention them, dear me. I don't know how some of these shops get away. I mean, I got one of my favourite shops is Bentl's, which again is in the Bracknell town centre, and it's very good for certain things. But their clothes, they're so dear. I mean, I saw a pair of swimming trunks in there, £25 for one pair of swimming trunks. And you know what? I never ever see any, but I see very, very few people, certainly in the men's section, I see very, very few people in there buying anything. I don't know how they manage to sell anything. On the times I've been there, there's hardly ever any men in the men's section. That whole area is empty, and there's so many. And don't get me wrong, there's some beautiful clothes in there, but they're so dear. That's the place I saw the shirts for £90. You know, it's an awful, awful lot of money. Anyway, so that's it. So that's my money-spending activities over the last couple of days. So I think, really, for the next couple of weeks, I will have to not eat anything at all to save that money I've spent. Now, I want your help. I want your help. Presumably, these are the same the world over. I have in front of me a Whiskers biscuit. What are they called now? Whiskers. I don't know. It's Whiskers dry food. This particular type is the duck and turkey, as favoured by my cat Katie. I don't know where she is. I think she's asleep at the moment. Right, should be asleep at the moment. Duck and turkey, right? Now, I bought this because it said somewhere, I don't know where it said it now, resealable pack. Okay, so I've picked this up and got it home. At the top is a little thing that says zip. Alright? So, I kind of pulled the outside plastic bit off and couldn't find any sort of zip thing. So, I thought, well, it must be that you cut off the top with a pair of scissors, which I have done. Do you know, they don't smell too bad, these. Shall I try it? Shall I try some Whiskers, do you think? I don't know. Oof. They don't smell good at all. I shouldn't tell you this. My sister, years ago, of course, my sister actually caught my niece with her hand in the dog biscuits, eating the dog biscuits. Honestly. I must remember when she gets married to her boyfriend at the wedding, I must stand up and tell everyone about that one. Oh, she used to eat the dog biscuits. Anyway, or was it the cat biscuits? Oh, I can't remember now. I remember seeing her on the kitchen floor and she had her hand in this box eating these cat biscuits. Anyway, let's go back to the Whiskers. So, I cut the top off, and now it's been cut off, and there doesn't seem to be any way of sealing this damn thing. And I haven't got a clue how it works. And this isn't the first... Oh, hang on a minute, what does this do? That lifts up. Something lifts up. I don't know. How does this damn thing work? No, I can't work this. I don't know. So, well, anyway, I cut the top off, and there it is. And now, so it's open, and of course I can't seal it. What a stupid design. And it does annoy me, and this isn't the first time this has happened with a food item to me. I've bought, you know, the plastic... let me do this up, because I don't want it to go all dry for her. Well, I can't. You see, you kind of scrunch it over the top, and then it opens again. So it's absolutely useless. Absolutely useless. Terrible design. You know, it's all very well for the designer to be able to open this, or the guy that he's shown it to be able to open it. What about the public? We can't open these things. We don't know how to... There's no instructions. We don't know how to open them or to seal them up again. What a stupid idea. The Whiskers new zip packs. Blimmin' stupid idea. And it's not the first time. Oh no, I've bought pots of soup, you know, in plastic things with a plastic lid. Have you ever tried to get those off? They're all different. The latest one they've got to confuse you as you're sitting there, practically turning into a skeleton as you try and get this thing open. They've got this thing where the pot sits on top, and round the edge, right, is a little bit that you're supposed to break off and then simply flip it up with a thumb. But the point is, there's no one to show you how to do these damn things. We can't work out how to do it, love. That's the latest. And before that, they had another one with, let me think now. Yes, it had like a zip around the top. So, of course, you got the pot of soup home, and you kind of undid this zip. And then I'm like twisting, and I couldn't get this thing off. And again, it was a similar thing to what we got now, and you have to push it off with your thumb. But no one shows you how to blooming do it. And it just annoys me so much, these designers who come up with these ideas, which I'm sure are very good in their eyes, and they do work in their eyes, but there's no one to show us how to blooming do it. Is there? I mean, we've had the problem for years. Packets of biscuits. Packets of biscuits. How are some of those are dreadful to get. By the time you've got them open, you've broken the first 5 or 6 custard creams in the top of the packet, haven't you? Oh, it's so... I think they do it purposely so that you buy more, you know. Broken biscuits. Not that there's anything wrong with broken biscuits. I remember being at scout camp once, and our leader, our skipper, who was Ted Malden, who is no longer with us, unfortunately, was a great, great man. He was a lovely, lovely man, and he would always come on camp, and he'd bring all this cheap food with him. Like, we'd get these cans, because he worked for Heinz, so we'd get these cans of Heinz whatever, but they wouldn't have labels on them. They're just the code on the bottom, and they were allowed to buy those cheap from Heinz, and we used to have those. But the trouble is, you'd never know what was you'd never know what was in the tin, unless he was around, because he would know there's a code stamped on the bottom, which apparently tells you what's in it. Oh, these flies keep attacking. Will you go away? Dear me. Oh, my God, I'm just looking at the grass. It needs cutting. I'll show you it in a minute. Yeah, and one of the other things he used to bring was big bags of broken biscuits. Because, again, the biscuit manufacturers would make these biscuits, and any that didn't quite meet up to their standards would be shoved on the side, and you could buy them in great big bags of broken biscuits. Nothing wrong with them. They tasted lovely. They weren't soggy or out of date or anything like that. They were just broken. For some reason, people don't want to buy them, or maybe it's because they don't fit into their packets properly. I don't know. But if you've got any advice, how on earth do you open and close these new packs of Whiskers dried food? I've got the 2 kilogram one with duck and turkey, which looks absolutely vile. No, it doesn't look vile, actually. It does look nice. Then please let me know how on earth you do this. Please send me instructions, and I can pass them on to everyone else who's having trouble. Chris at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Chris at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. I mean, how fantastic would it be for someone who works in the Whiskers factory, who makes these damn bags, and will be able to advise me who on earth thought of this idea? It's stupid. Stupid idea. You'd be better off having it so it cut off the top and complete with a little bit of sticky tape or one of those reusable labels. And you could just, like, push it down or pull it up like that. Be a lot easier. Don't try and be clever. That's the trouble with people. They try and be clever with the stuff. Doesn't work. OK? That's it. That's my moaning done for a day. I was talking about my car service a minute ago. Yeah, I was just interested. Quite often, you see people in car places and they're having their clutch is it repaired or replaced or renewed? I don't know. But they're having their clutch done because it's worn out. And I'm kind of wondering, how do you know, if you've got any drivers or anything like that, or any mechanics watching or listening, how do you know when a clutch is about to go? Is there some way of telling? And then, if it has to be done, is that quite a simple job? Does it take them long to do that? Or what? Because I've no idea. When it comes to clutches, I've got a bit of an idea about brakes, although I couldn't do them myself. I gather, now this is interesting, on this particular service, they've told me my front pads are now 50% worn, right? But from what I remember, they were only done 2 services ago, and the last set lasted me 3 years. So does that sound about right to you? I don't know. This time they seem to have gone from 100% to 50% in like 6 months. And I'm not quite sure what's happened there. So if you've got any drivers, any mechanics, please let me know those things. Also, how do you know a clutch is going or is about to go? And indeed, when it goes, what happens? Because I don't know. It's never happened to me. Please let me know. I need to be informed of all these things. You see, you teach me. You really do. I don't know everything. Thick as 2 planks I am. Let me know. I'm not an expert on anything at all. Okay? Not an expert. Chris at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Right. Now, we've got lots of emails to do today, my darlings. First of all, I just want to talk a little bit about plants, okay? Now, you may remember that at the moment I am doing food this year. I'm growing a bit of food for myself. And I think one of the things that you've got to remember is... And it's something, when I was a little boy, I used to grow all these tomato plants on our balcony in Roehampton. And Mum used to love me for that because she was a great tomato eater. Strange thing is, I didn't like them. I never used to eat anything. I grew cucumbers and tomatoes. I think that's the only things I used to grow. And I didn't like any of them. Now, I love them. I must have 2 or 3 tomatoes every day now. I love them. Especially the little cherry ones. Okay, I also eat peppers, and I eat sweet corn, and I eat peas, and this year I've decided, if you've been watching the last few shows, you'll know that I've started growing them myself, and if you're watching the show, I'm going to take you around and have a little look at those today. Okay, what we do, we won't move too far away from where I am. I'll just point the sort of camera out of there, my new camera, and we'll zoom in on those bits and pieces there. And there we are. Yeah, if you're watching, as I say, you'll be able to see the plants. I'll describe them as well. We've got at the front lots of little baby tomatoes. Actually, I will move the camera, which is probably not a wise thing to do. Let's come around here a little bit. There we are. I just know you'll want to see these. Right, there we go. Right in the front there, right at the very front, and I've put them all on my patio. Right at the very front, there are 2, clear plastic trays. Now, these are not seed trays. These are actually trays that strawberries or something like that's coming. There's no need to go down the garden centre and buy seed trays and all that. Just use the stuff that you buy your strawberries or... pre-packaged chopped up fruit from the supermarket or anything like that. Okay, you can just use those. Indeed, I have done so. Now, at the front there, I have clear plastic trays with pepper plants in them. Now, they are very small. Because for some reason they took a long time to germinate. I think I was doing them incorrectly. Now this may mean that I've actually missed the boat with those ones, but not to worry, because I did buy some sort of kind of already growing ones. Okay, so we've got that there. Next to those I've got 2 very small plants which are corn. Now they are very small pots there, and I've got to replant those. Next to that there's a larger pot there, and that is actually an oak tree. Now, I unplanted that from my mum and dad's grave, because obviously kind of a tree growing in a grave, it won't get anywhere. So I brought it home, and I've put it in a pot, and that would have been a couple of weeks ago, and it's still going. It's still sorry, I just need to blow a fly off the camera. That is actually still going. So what I'll probably do quite quickly is plant that in the communal area outside my house. Right, next to that we have a couple of little corn plants which are just sort of starting there, and a couple at the front there, and then next to that a few more tomato plants that may or may not get transplanted, because I always grow a few extra. Well, I say always. This is the first year really that I've now done tomatoes. I've done any sort of food really, because just through time things. So I've done a few extra ones in case any of the others that have already been transplanted go a bit funny or die. All right, so we've got some extra ones there. Now, behind all those small ones are the tomato plants that I've already transplanted, all in black pots. All right, quite a few of those, all fairly small at the moment. And that's it. Now, there is one big pot. Now, I'm not sure whether I'm going to have to put this one in the ground, but there's a large pot there, and it's got peas growing up it. Pea plants. And now, already, a couple of pea plants. Oh, there's a little bee over there on one of my flowers. Look at it, working away. Where is it? Let me see if I can get that. Where's that bee? Oh, will I ever find that? I don't know. Come on, bee, where are you? Oh, where are we? Let me see if I can find that bee. Oh, I can't find it now. No, I'm a bit too far. Come on, bee, where are you? Stop hiding. Oh, it's disappeared. It seems to have disappeared. No, it's not there. Where are you, bee? No. Find the bee. Ah, it's hidden somewhere now, isn't it? Hidden somewhere, never mind. Where was I now? Oh, yes. So we've got the tomato plants there. Varying different levels. Yeah, there's the pea. There's a pot with 3 sticks going up quite high. Okay, that's for the peas. Now, I'm not sure whether I should replant that pot in the earth. I'm not sure how much of a pot size peas would need, and there must be 1, 2. Let me just have a quick look over here. There must be 1, 2, 3, 4. There must be about six pea plants growing up there, in actual fact. And I'm not sure if anyone knows, again, if you can help me with that one, anyone knows whether I should perhaps replant those in the ground in the garden, then do let us know. All right. Next to the pea plants, again behind all the little ones, we've got some more mature pepper plants, which I bought as small plants. Not very expensive, about 60 pence per plant, and they're all growing up rather nicely, except for one, which looks like it might have a bit of a problem. Kind of the leaves have gone a little bit funny in comparison to the other ones. They're like sort of a bit wrinkled, and the ones next to that are not wrinkled, so not quite sure what's happened there. Alright, so they're the pepper plants behind there, and then right at the very back there are the more mature tomato plants. I bought a couple of sort of fairly well grown ones. They were a bit more expensive at I think about £2.50 per plant, something like that. Alright, and they're right at the back there. Also, if I move over to the garden here, I purchased some grow bags as well, and in the grow bags are the little tomato plants that I've grown completely from seed, and they're not doing too bad as well. They're starting to grow. Let's just get close to one of those. There we are. Little tomato plants which are about to grow, and they will also all have to be, of course, sticked. I don't know what the correct term is. They will have to have sticks in, like I've already done to some of the larger tomato plants. And that's my garden at the moment. It's all looking rather nice. I've got lots of flowers growing as well, lots of flowers, and the hanging baskets. the hanging baskets are doing exceedingly well. Now, this year, I made them all from scratch. I've got red geraniums growing. I've got pink petunias, pink and red, very in different colours. I've got the little blue, what is it called, lobelia. That's just starting. And what are those little pink things? Not freesias. I can't remember what they're called now. Little pink hanging flowers. Oh, my word. I can hear you shouting at my computer screen. I just can't hear you properly. What is it called now? Oh, never mind. I can't remember. They're over there. Some mauve and bluey petunia type things, and some more lobelia in the other hanging baskets that are kind of around the newly painted shed. If you remember the... hang on a minute. Where are we gone? There we are. The newly painted shed. If you remember my... Oh, and we've got some more flowers over there by the tree. Some rather beautiful... And it's actually looking really colourful in the garden this year. And even the hedge is now bursting into white flowers, which is rather nice. Very, very nice indeed. The holly bush, which is behind me, and I've got my bike out there as well. The holly bush, which is there, is getting rather massive at the moment, and possibly needs to be cut down a little bit. So there we are, little trip round the garden for you today. All right, I do like to show you around. How are we doing? Let me just... I knew I shouldn't have moved this camera. Oh dear, it's all offline now. One minute, stay there. I'll just pull something out there. Otherwise, that's it. Otherwise, I should be looking crooked, even more crooked than I usually look. There we are. I'm so lucky to have a garden, really. So lucky, and it's one thing I always remember wanting as a child, having a garden. A beautiful thing about doing this show on the radio as well as the video. I mean, don't forget, predominantly this is a radio show. And it's quite nice, even though you can't see it. I always try and describe something to you, and you know what? Sometimes it's better to close your eyes, and the imagination is perhaps better than the reality. But the reality is, at the moment, it's beautiful out here. It really is. The camera's actually... If you're not watching the show, then I'll have to tell you, the camera's a little bit further away from me than it usually is, so that you can see all the bits and pieces. I hope I'm not looking too crooked now that I'm moved the camera. All right. OK, let's move on to some emails. It's actually clouded. I'm a little bit worried that we've got a storm brewing. It's very, very cloudy now. Email time. Now, my mate Wayne in Reading has been writing more than his usual amount of emails. And thank you very much, Wayne, because your emails are always very good. And he writes, Hi, Chris. You were talking about banking on one of the previous shows. I used to use the same banking system as you, except my bank was, and he tells me what his bank was. I had a few problems with another major bank, but once with my personal bank, I went to a hole in the wall and I asked for £20. And amazingly, got £200. The receipt slip said £20, but after counting it in the car, I realised it was 200. Ding! Blah, blah. Yeah, but he brings up the story of the bank because, remember, I had a problem with one of the machines and I put money in and it didn't register. That was all sorted, actually, immediately. That's fine. Wayne says, being as it was in the early hours of the morning, I couldn't go into the bank, so I thought I'd call the bank in the morning, which I did. But after being on the phone for 20 minutes and pressed 2 followed by 4 and got told my call is important 20 to 40 times and got no answer. So I gave up, and to this day, £20 of the amount was deducted. That's all right, isn't it? A profit of £180. Well done. That's all I can say. Well done, sir. Fantastic. He said, regarding the reverb unit that you used on your show, please don't use it. It's bad enough hearing you the first time. Without having it reverbed. He says, honestly, though, it doesn't really make much difference because most people listen to you via computer speakers, which are normally tiny echoey anyway. I have re-listened using my desktop speaker system, which is a very good system, and there was a very, very slight difference. Hope that helps. Yes, it certainly does, Wayne. Always appreciate if I've, got a question technically and people respond, because quite often, I do the show and you're not quite sure what it sounds like at the other end. So it needs sort of someone normal to tell you. Not, of course, that I'm assuming for one moment, Wayne, that you're normal. I mean, I haven't been normal ever since the day I was born, to be honest. Look, Katie's just a bit... Katie! 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 Come on, girl. Come on. You going to come and say hello? Katie! She hasn't been on the show for a while, has she? Katie, come on. She's got that look on her face that she's just woken up. I know you've been asleep. Katie! Oh, she's cleaning herself. She'll be over when she's had a wash. She don't want to come on the telly until she's had a wash. Dear me. You coming over? Come on, Katie. Don't be shy. Dear me. Wayne also writes, the new shirt you were wearing. That would have been the striped one a few weeks ago. A few shows ago, not a few weeks ago. The new shirt. I thought I was watching one of those test screens, but then I realised when you breathed out and the tight creases appeared that in fact it was a shirt. Who is it? Beg pardon? Beg pardon? Are you suggesting my fat is introducing creases into my expensive wear? Who is it? He says, I think it may well have been over 10 sandwiches going by that tight shirt. What a cheek. Katie! Now, she's now walking. Oh, they are funny cats, aren't they? She's now walking behind the hedge, thinking that I probably can't see her. Katie! Come and say hello. Oh, OK. Oh, she's going toilet, that's why. Oh, she doesn't want us to see her going toilet. Fair enough. He says, you like being tight with money and shirts by the look of it. Yes, I do. I don't believe in spending a fortune on clothes. As I keep saying, Wayne, there's some very, very nice clothes out there that are not expensive. I mean, look at the lovely shirt I've got on today. This is a couple of years old. This is another Sports Direct offering. Yes. On the subject of you leaving the steam coach, as you did the other week, he says, because I said the staff were sad, and he says, the staff are sad? Of course, it's because you're leaving. Well, I like to think so, dear. Yeah, I used to take them in chocolates. Not expensive chocolates, and not all the time. Now and again, a bar of chocolate here and there. Doesn't hurt, does it? Katie! Katie! Oh, let's try and tempt her. Look! What's this? Katie! Come on, darling. Come on. Oh, she's coming. Come on. Come and say hello, darling. Here she comes. Meow. Come meow for me. You coming up? Yeah, I'll sit up here for a while. Here we are. Katie. Here she is. Hello, darling. All right? You going to meow? Say hello. Because I can't hear you. They can't hear you, Kate. Off she goes. She's too busy to want to sit on the lap for too long today, rather. Now, he says, try 15 sit-ups in that shirt. Well, I haven't got it on today, otherwise I would. Believe you me. I am doing sit-ups now. I could do sit-ups in this shirt. Do you want me to do sit-ups in this shirt? Let's try. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute, then. Oh, the things you have me doing, I tell you. Well, we'll try sit-ups in this shirt. There we go. I just want to double-check that I haven't got holes in these trousers, actually, because... couple of times ago, I had holes in the trousers. Now, I think this is the correct way to do it, right? You're supposed to bend your legs up slightly like that. Like a lady having a baby, I suppose. And then you mustn't pull your head up when you're doing sit-ups. That's the thing, right? And then you kind of put your hands either side, and then you do sit-ups. 15, you do 1, 2... 3. Is this correct? 4. Have we got any gym people listening? 5. 6. I think they're more stomach crunches. 7. Oh dear. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. 13. 14. 15. Right. Oh dear me. And I generally do 3 lots of these. Okay, the next ones I do are usually with my arms folded on my chest. I don't know why, but I do know why, because I've tried it once, and it does feel like it does something to your pecs as well. So I do 15 like this now. You don't mind me exercising while I'm doing the show, do you? Huh? 1, 2, 3. You can feel it. 4. Am I doing this right? Someone tell me. 5. 6. Yep, you can feel it. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. Oh dear. 12. 13. 14. Oh. 15. Oh God. They're more like stomach crunches than sit-ups, I think. Really. I am up to 3, I think it's 3 reps. 3 reps of 15. So I've got one more lot to do. You don't mind, do you? Right? Here we go. 1, 2. I meant to say sticky, I tell you. 3. It's quite warm out. 4. 5. Oh, God. 6. This is where it starts getting me. 7. 8. 9. 10. I know some of you are in the gym listening. 11. 12. 13. 14. 15. Oh, God blimey. There we are, that's enough of that. Thank you very much, dear. Oh, worn out, dear. I only came out here to do a radio show. I didn't know I was doing exercising as well. Hang on a minute, the top's come off my chair. There we are. Coming off my chair there. Oh. Wow. One minute. Back in a minute. Stay there, don't move. Just adjust. There we are. We could do a whole new show, couldn't we? Perhaps a daily exercise with Chris type thing. What do you reckon? Would you join me for that one? Huh? Question I've got to ask you, Wayne, is how many sit-ups do you do? Because I've seen you. I've got a feeling you haven't started yet. Would that be right? So there you are. Not 15 sit-ups, but 45. Thank you very much. If you've got any gym people, did I do that correctly? Please let me know, because I'm not a member of a gym. Chris at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Any other suggestions? Because it's the stomach and the waist that are the problem. That's the only, but the stomach and the waist. The rest is all right. Wayne says, not only are emails on United Kingdom Talk constipated, he says, taking a long time to come out. Oh, you make me feel ill now. Fancy coming out with something like that. Awful you are sometimes. He said, but they are repeated again and again. What do you mean? Well, you do know. Yes, I'm aware that sometimes the emails do take a while to come up, but they do come up eventually. You know that. If they're interestingly, and most of them are, then they come up. If they're the same, if you keep telling me the same thing over and over, they don't come up again. But that's very rare. Although Wayne informs me that the email from Mitchell has been on the show twice already, and now it's been 3 times. Will it be 4 times? Possibly. It was about magpies and Cetos on a bed in a truck. I don't even remember the email. So there's a good chance it'll come up again. Yeah, sometimes that happens. I'm sorry about that, but yeah, I do kind of lose the plot a bit. What's new there? Nothing, really. Chris, have you been eating birdseed? Because you do not stop talking. Just get on with it, dear. Who is it? And he says, Chris, don't upset Millie, because she will mow you down just like the guy in the restaurant. She'll rev up and knock you over. And it says, take care from Wayne, not from Reading, but from classy Oxfordshire. Oxfordshire, my foot, you're in Reading. Don't give me all that. These people who live in Reading, they pretend they're from Oxfordshire, but they're not, they're from Reading. Don't go there. Terrible place. They can't sort the traffic out. Thank you very much. Nice to hear from Terry H. Hello, Terry from Leeds, up to north. Hello, Terry. He says, firstly, excellent videos. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Terry. As I've told you before, I watch them in bed on my laptop before I go to sleep. Perfect nighttime viewing. Now, I just want to reiterate what he says there. Before I go to sleep. He doesn't say that they're sending him to sleep. So thank you very much. Talking of the videos, as I say, I've been experimenting with the various different formats and things on this camera. So I hope that from now it will all be okay, widescreen and all that business and reasonable quality. Thanks to Lee for pointing out that it wasn't quite in the correct format on the particular show. Yes, I'm aware of that. That's because we were still experimenting. And Carl, of course, in Yorkshire, so quick to point out that things weren't right. And your emails are a little bit sharp sometimes, Carl. Sorry, Chris, but I have to say, I can't bear watching this. It's in the wrong aspect. I'll listen to this show. Well, it's a little bit strong, that. You are getting a little bit strong with your emails, Carl. Lighten up a bit. It's only a bit of fun, dear. You take it too seriously. Not everything is logical. I think, Carl, you'd make a very good Vulcan. Because you think logically. I don't. I live my life in absolute chaos. With this new camera, it's actually a lot easier to show you around things. And one day, I might even show you inside the house. We might have a little tour of the house. All right, and you'll see, and I won't tidy it up first, you'll see how I live. It's not dirty. Yeah, there's a bit of dust here and there, but it's not dirty. We haven't got germs floating around all over the place. Honest. Terry says, just want to comment on when you mentioned your friend Ronnie. That's the one who must have the sheets perfectly flat before. If there's a crease, he has to get that out of the sheet before he gets into bed. He's one of those, yeah. He's one of them. He is. When I was growing up at home, my mum always used to iron my bed sheets, my underwear, and even tea towels. Due to this, I have got some very bad habits myself. So much so my friends are convinced I have OCD. Now, what's that called? Oh, you're using abbreviations, Terry. I hate abbreviations. I don't know. I don't know what that's... I know what it is, but I can't remember it. Please use the full term, not a few letters. I don't know what letters mean. I don't know what letter. This is CR on UKT. What's that? CR on UKT. Chris Reardon on United Kingdom Talk. You see, you didn't know that. Well, I don't know what OCD is. Okay? Can we have the full correct names for these things? Terry says, one of the things I do is also iron my bed sheets, including the sheet that goes over the mattress and the pillowcases. Well, it's very good, Terry. There's nothing wrong with being clean. I mean, I personally think it's just wasting time. Surely you've got better things to do with your time than ironing. I iron absolutely as little as I possibly can. The sheets never have been ironed by me. Not the duvet cover. Not handkerchiefs. Not tea towels. Not towels. Nothing. Except occasionally T-shirts, if they look really creased, or the shirts that I wear before I come on and do the show. I do usually iron those first. He says, also, I have a wooden bed which at the end has posts on either side. While I'm in bed, the duvet has got to be over the posts and the duvet has to be straight. Me. You need to get this sorted, really, Terry, I think. It's a bit over the top, lovey. In fact, when someone sleeps with me... Oh, are there a few people then? Oh, dear me, you give yourself a bad name, Terry. Has there been a few then? And at your young age? I'm shocked and horrified, dear. Shocked and horrified. In fact, when someone sleeps with me, I know it annoys them. I've even had, do you have to make the bed while we were in it, said to me. I love it. I love it. Another thing that I do when I'm leaving the apartment... You mean the flat? Apartment is... Are you in America? No. You're in the UK. It's a flat. Don't say it's an apartment. It's a flat, dear. You won't get any points from me for saying it's an apartment. I check if I've got my keys, wallet and phone about 5 and 6 times before I leave. Yeah, I do that. I must say I do that. And after a meal, I have to wash up and put the pots away as soon as I've finished eating. Oh, no, I can't. No, I rarely do I do that. I mean, I'm not one of those people who's got a week's worth of things. I tend to do it perhaps twice a day, and that's it. He says, however, I'm sure everyone has something that they have to have right, don't they? Take care, Chrissy baby. Thank you, Terry. Nice to hear from you. Yes, what do I have to have right? I have to have a clean toilet. Seriously, when I go to the toilet, you know, big toilet, I have to flush a chain 5 or 6 times because I'm terrified at the water coming back up. And that's it today. Thank you very much for joining us on the show. My email address is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Please feel free to join in, all right? chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. For myself, Chris Reardon, see you on the next show. Bye-bye now.